said, and tell me all your thoughts on God, 'cause I'd really like to meet her and ask her why we're who we are. And tell me all your thoughts on God, 'cause I'm on my way to see her. So tell me, am I very far? Am I very far now? Am I very...
Hey everybody, so I promised you guys a more in-depth book review of the 4 Agreements, a practical guide to personal freedom. So I wanted to go ahead and do that for you guys. I had to read this book for my human sexualities class this past summer semester. And because it was assigned by a professor, I wasn't really expecting what I got out of it. It's actually a pretty decent little self-help book. So it basically centers around what it says is ancient Toltec wisdom. And the writer, Don Miguel Ruiz, I believe that's how you pronounce his name anyway, basically centers happiness around 4 agreements. And agreements to him are like affirmations in a way. For example, the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity, say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So I really loved that agreement. And basically each agreement has its own chapter. And really, this first agreement really goes right along with a lot of pagan or witchcraft views, in the sense that the power of the word is a very strong power. I went through and highlighted a few things. One of the things that I highlighted, let me get my glasses, sorry. One of the things I highlighted is actually your word is pure magic, and misuse of your word is black magic. That's just an example that he uses, or a model he uses. This is an extreme example, but he says, I say, I see that kind of color in your face in people who are going to get cancer. If the man he's talking to listens to the word, and if he agrees, he will have cancer in less than 1 year. That is the power of the world. Mind over matter, right? Here's another line that he wrote in here that says, the word is pure magic. The most powerful gift we have as humans, and we use it against ourselves. And what he means by that is, more often than not, a lot of people, I find myself doing this a lot, and I like to think of myself as a very optimistic person, but I actually have to catch myself every now and then, and that's why, I really love this book. The word, using it as black magic, or using it negatively, can kind of come back and bite us in the ass, in the sense that we all the time downgrade ourselves in our mind, or we think to ourselves, gosh, I'm so stupid, or darn, I'm so, this, or darn, I'm so this, or gosh, I'm so this. More than not, the this is negative. And so really what we're doing is we're poisoning ourselves with these thoughts, these words of power, basically. And so this chapter is all about thinking integratively, or thinking truthfully, being true to yourself and others. He goes on to describe that words we use are like spells that we put on ourselves and other people. And the only thing, he wrote here, the only thing that can break a spell is to make a new agreement based on truth. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, and so the second agreement is don't take anything personally. And by that he means absolutely nothing. Now, this chapter was really hard for me to understand. This agreement was really hard for me to wrap my brain around because as a Cancer, I like to hold on to things. I take almost everything personally. You know, honestly, to let you in on a bit of my personal life, I overthink things like crazy. Like, someone can say something and be joking, and I'll, like, completely take it personally, and I'll think, you know, oh my gosh, that person is so mean, oh my goodness, you know, everything else. So this chapter was really tough for me to actually wrap my head around. And basically, he goes on, I highlighted this line, whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, they are not saying that because of you. You know you are wonderful. It is not necessarily to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Don't take anything personally. Even if someone got a gun and shot you in the head, it was nothing personal, even at that extreme. So basically he's saying, so long as you don't take what people say personally, their poisonous words or their negative attitudes will not poison yours. He goes on to say, if someone gives you an opinion and says, hey, you look so fat, don't take it personally, because the truth is that this person is dealing with his or her own feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That person tried to send poison to you, and if you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes your own. So, really, in a sense, I think that, you know, there's a lot of truth there. You know, people always tell you, you know, oh, well, they're just saying that, or they're just acting that way because they're jealous, or, you know, this or that. In a sense, it's the same thing, a little different. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. I lost my highlighter. I didn't really get to highlight anything to read off to you guys. So basically, you know what they say about assuming. Makes an ass out of you and me. Get it? Assume. Oh. Anyway, my mom always says that, so. This is all about don't assume. Don't make any assumptions about other people, and definitely don't make any assumptions about yourself. An example, you are walking in the mall and you see a person you like. That person turns to you and smiles and then walks away. You can make a lot of assumptions just because of this one experience. With these assumptions, you create a whole fantasy. I'm a Cancer. That's what I do. Okay? I'm sorry. And you really want to believe this fantasy and make it real. A whole dream begins to form just from your own assumptions, and you can believe, oh, this person really likes me. In your mind, a whole relationship begins from that. Maybe you even get married in this fantasy land, but the fantasy is in your mind, in your personal dream. Making assumptions in our relationships is really asking for problems. Often we make the assumption that our partners know what we think, and that we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we assume they should do, we feel so hurt and say, you should have known. And then he goes on to explain that, you know, say you decide to get married, you assume that your partner automatically feels the same way and believes the same things about marriage as you do, and that's not necessarily the case. So yeah, basically, don't make assumptions. And the fourth agreement is basically kind of a recap of the whole book. The fourth agreement is called Always Do Your Best. And that, in turns, do your best in the other three agreements, but also do your best in everything you can do. But anyway, yeah, you're being a butt. But anyway, sorry, my sister's cat. So yeah, definitely check this book out if you're interested. It is a decent read. It only took me about 2 days, well, maybe about 12 hours total to read it. It's not very lengthy at all, and it's a pretty decent read, if anything. So yeah, that is the Four Agreements. Very good book, very good information. I believe I got it on Amazon for $14, I think. $14. Something like that. So yeah, definitely if you're interested, get it. It's highly recommended by me personally. And I hope you guys enjoyed that little review. Definitely 4 to 5 stars, most likely 5 stars in my opinion. It is not necessarily a pagan book, but it is very easy it shares some pagan ideals. And I think that's because of, the whole Toltec, his family was from Toltec heritage, which is a native heritage, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you guys go out and get it, or get it on your Kindles, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. So yeah, blessed be. Have a good weekend.